When you think about the Ice Age, you probably imagine giant woolly mammoths, sprawling glaciers, and these. These absolutely incredible works of art, hidden deep inside ancient caves. But what you might not know is that behind these masterpieces, there's a secret technology, a simple tool that pretty much changed everything. I mean, just look at this, the detail, the scale. And this was all created thousands and thousands of years ago in the pitch black, often on crazy high walls and ceilings. So the real mystery isn't just why they painted this stuff, but how. Seriously, how did they physically pull this off? So let's go back in time. We're headed to Lascaux Cave in France. Try to imagine walking into these dark chambers, and your torchlight suddenly reveals these enormous bulls, entire herds of horses, and these graceful deer that almost look like they're galloping right across the rock. It is truly one of the greatest artistic achievements in all of human history. And it's the sheer ambition of it all that's just so mind-blowing. We're not talking about a few small sketches on a wall that's easy to reach. Nope. These are massive, sprawling panels, way up high on ceilings in really, really tough spots. This would have been a huge logistical nightmare for our ancestors. The solution to this problem, though, it wasn't some complex machine. It was something much, much simpler. It was a technology so common today that we barely even think about it. But back then, it was so revolutionary, it basically powered human innovation for thousands of years. The big secret is cordage. It's really just a fancy word for rope. It's a simple idea, right? You just twist plant or animal fibers together to make them stronger. But that simple concept, it has massive implications for what human beings are capable of doing. You know, archaeologists call rope a multiplier technology. Think about it. A sharp stone is useful, sure, but with a piece of rope, you can tie that stone to a stick and suddenly you have a spear. You can haul heavy logs, build shelters, even construct scaffolding. You can climb cliffs safely. It just dramatically multiplies what a single person or a small group can get done. So you might be thinking, if rope was so important, why don't we find it everywhere? Well, here's the catch. It's usually made from things like plants or animal sinew, and that stuff rots. It just disappears over time. That's why archaeologists almost never find it, which makes the discovery at Lascaux so incredibly special. And this is where the detective story really kicks into gear. Because deep within the layers of dirt and history at Lascaux, researchers found a tiny, almost unbelievable clue that would totally change how we see this amazing art. They found evidence of rope, and not just any rope. We're talking about a multiply cord that has been dated back 17,000 years. Let that sink in for a second. This wasn't a guess or an impression, it was actual physical proof. Now, to really get why this is such a huge deal, you have to understand a little bit about archaeology. Evidence is usually either indirect, like a footprint or an imprint of a basket in some old clay, or it's direct, which means it's an actual piece of the thing itself. Direct evidence is like the holy grail for archaeologists, because it's just so unbelievably rare for organic stuff to survive. And that is exactly what they found at Lascaux, direct evidence. Real physical pieces of twisted plant fiber rope. There's no doubt about it. We now know for certain they had this technology. So, okay, what does this actually mean? This tiny clue completely unlocks a new way of thinking about the people who made this art. It shifts our focus from just a lone artist to something way more complex, prehistoric project management. Making rope isn't something you just instinctively know how to do. It's a skill you have to learn. You have to know which plants work best, how to prepare them, and the specific technique for twisting and plying them together to make a strong cord. This is knowledge that had to be passed down from person to person. It requires planning. The crucial thing to get here is that this rope was the ultimate utility tool for its time. I absolutely love this quote from one of the sources. It calls the ropes prehistoric zip ties, but way more versatile. And that just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures how essential this stuff was. So let's connect this all back to the cave paintings. How would rope have helped create them? Well, you could use it to haul all your supplies, pigments, tools, animal fat to burn in lamps. You could tie those lamps up high for steady light. And the big one, you could build scaffolding and ladders to reach those high ceilings and use safety lines while climbing. Suddenly, the impossible art starts to look possible. And all of this evidence points to one really powerful conclusion. The paintings probably weren't made by some solo artist having a moment of inspiration. To build scaffolding, manage the lighting, and haul all those materials, you need a team. You need a group of people working together with a shared goal. So, when you step back, what does this tiny fragment of ancient string tell us about our Ice Age ancestors? Well, it completely redraws the picture of their skills and their capabilities. What we're really seeing here is evidence of some pretty advanced thinking. We're seeing engineering, designing systems to solve tough problems. We're seeing teamwork and complex social coordination. We're seeing knowledge transfer, teaching and learning. And maybe most importantly, we're seeing planning, the ability to make a tool before you actually need to use it. And this reframes everything. The spectacular art of Lascaux isn't just a creative masterpiece. It's also an engineering masterpiece made possible by a forgotten, perishable technology and a level of planning and cooperation we're only just now beginning to fully appreciate.
It leaves you with this final, really fascinating question. Rope almost disappeared without a trace, so it makes you wonder, what other crucial inventions, what other brilliant solutions from our deep, deep past have been completely lost to time? What else are we missing?